Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your MTN Statewide News this Tuesday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, topping the news this noon, Missoula County authorities are looking for a person of interest in a shooting that left a victim critically injured last night. The sheriff's office says 20-year-old Zakai Hauk, also known as Kai William, is considered armed and dangerous. The shooting happened on Enkabide Lane Monday night in Missoula. Hauk is 5'11", approximately 150 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair. The victim was shot multiple times and found laying in the street in the Miller Creek area. If you have seen or know of the location of Zakai Hauk, please call 911. You can also call Missoula County Sheriff's Office. More information will be provided as it becomes available. A Great Falls man reported missing Sunday has been found dead. Tyler Hardy was last seen early Sunday morning near Monarch. According to Cascade County Sheriff's Office, Hardy's motorcycle was recovered first. Cascade County authorities and search and rescue, Montana Highway Patrol, and Belt emergency responders searched from the ground as Malmstrom Air Force helicopters searched from the sky. On Monday night, those close with Tyler Hardy gathered to remember the 22-year-old. Vehicles formed a procession along 10th Avenue South and Northwest Bypass in Great Falls. An investigation into his death is ongoing. 2 Great Falls police officers also joined in the solidarity Monday night, turning on their lights to honor Tyler's life. Helena leaders will hold an online public meeting this week to take comments as they seek grants to restore the city's historic fire tower. Now, the city is applying for $25,000 from the Montana Department of Commerce and $70,000 from a grant through the State Historic Preservation Office. The group Friends of the Fire Tower has also pledged to support some of the cost. Leaders have been looking at ways to repair the fire tower since it was damaged by a suspicious fire in 2016. Now, the current plan calls to replace rotted timbers, remove some material that isn't historically appropriate, and stabilize the tower's foundation. Now, that public meeting is set for Thursday at 4 p.m. Well, it's now time to check in on the weather scene. The pretty dreary day out there, Ed.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like it's going to continue for a while too, Jeanelle. As we take a look, we're going to take a look ahead towards next week. The Climate Prediction Center is putting the 8 to 14 day forecast. That's next week, basically with cooler than average temperatures across the Rocky Mountain West. Meanwhile, they're going to be basking in springtime temperatures in the eastern 2/3 of the country, and that's going to hold back our warm up much. And at the same time, you could probably guess that with the cooler temperatures, we're also trending towards a little wetter than average weather as well, especially through southern and eastern Montana as we start getting through the week. There could be some breaks in that, though. A nice weekend. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. Well, today the state reports 2 more confirmed COVID-19 cases across Montana. There are just 19 active cases of the 460 confirmed total. Now, this map here does not reflect a Jefferson County case reported over the weekend. Jefferson County health officials tell us that man has not been in Montana for several weeks and did not contract the virus here. According to Governor Steve Bullock, the state will receive nearly 20,000 swabs from the federal government. 9,000 units of the liquid needed to transport the swabs will also be included in that order. The governor says the increased testing will be focused on assisted living facilities and tribal communities. Now, businesses across Gallatin County are reopening at their own pace, but all are required to follow city county health department rules. MTN's Gabby Crevitt shows us how different businesses take different approaches to make customers and employees feel safe.
When this first hit, we are like, okay, it'll last a week. Okay, it's gonna last 2 weeks. Now it's 2 months in, and our business model has literally changed 180.
Businesses across Gallatin County have been hard at work, making sure customers and employees feel safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's come with some serious changes to how business is normally conducted. Earlier this month, the Gallatin City County Health Department adopted a new emergency rule for reopening and has shared guidelines for avoiding close contact, promoting hand washing and sanitizing, and monitoring for symptoms. Businesses are now tasked with how to implement the guidelines.
We're doing everything from temperature checks or all shifts for employees, sanitizing every table. We have these little cards that we sort of flip over when somebody sits down, so we sanitize it before somebody leaves. We've plexiglassed everything in, basically.
Sanitizing everything from counters to pens to shopping carts to doors to the displays, rooms like this, everything needs cleaned constantly.
One major topic of discussion is face coverings. Some businesses have encouraged their employees to wear them.
I think a lot of it is just to make sure our customers feel comfortable and us feeling comfortable that we're doing everything that we can.
While other businesses are leaving the mask coverings up to the employees.
We did have some folks that do wear them, some folks that opted not even to come to work, kind of on that same risk level that they chose not to, and we of course allowed that. And we do have an inventory of them for our staff, which is basically all we could get our hands on.
The CDC recommends wearing a non-medical grade face mask or a cloth covering if social distancing is hard to achieve, but it's not a mandate. It's something that the Gallatin City County Health Department and the Board of Health continue to discuss. Reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Thanks, Gabby. Now, today, nurses will hold an online vigil to mark the end of National Nurses Week. Nearly 1,000 nurses are expected to sign on to honor their colleagues who lost their lives to COVID-19. It's also meant to show their solidarity during this tough time. Well, last week, nurses protested for better protective gear outside the White House by laying out 88 pairs of shoes for each nurse who's died. Well, today, that number is more than 100. The group National Nurses United will host the vigil on Facebook Live starting at 6:30 tonight. University of Montana turns to forest as a symbolic way to honor the future for the class of 2020. The University of Montana has a stellar reputation as one of the best forestry schools in the United States. This past weekend, the forest took on special symbolism as a living tribute to all UM students, no matter what their major. It wasn't caps and gowns, but masks and hodads as UM leaders, staff, and volunteers gathered to plant 2,020 western larch on the 3,600-acre university-owned Brandy Ranch, which is on the Upper Blackfoot.
Planting trees for them just seemed like a great way to celebrate their achievements under these extraordinary circumstances and really to demonstrate that we're hopeful in spite of COVID-19 and all the challenges we're currently facing.
What a great move. Well, some good news regarding Montana's unemployment numbers today. The state has seen fewer than 1,000 new claims each day in May. That's down from as many as 4,000 a day during the middle of the shutdown last month. Now, since the first COVID-19 cases in March, Montana has recorded nearly 87,000 new unemployment claims. In the first week of May alone, the Department of Labor and Industry has paid out almost $60 million in unemployment across the state. Well, the House of Representatives wants to get voting started on a new stimulus package as soon as Friday, but progress may stop there. Senate Republicans say they do not plan on voting for any new relief until June. The new package would be the fifth since March. It's expected to be unveiled today and focus on helping states and cities struggling to avoid layoffs. The House also wants more money for testing and another round of direct payments and unemployment benefits. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell insists there is no urgency to approve aid right now. Well, we have more news ahead on your noon news, including a story about a Montana high school athlete who is one varsity letter short from making history. The time now is 12:08, but first, Ed McIntosh is in next with your statewide weather forecast.